Starting. Hello. Hi. Welcome to this live stream. I'll just quickly check if the links are live on our social media across. It will take a minute. The team time. In the meantime, feel free to drop a hi in the comment section and from where you are joining, so that we have a fair idea. Yes, we are live. Perfect. So hi, this is Keshav Maheshwari. So this is stream. One second. Sorry. All right, we are also live on LinkedIn. It was being delayed. So welcome to this stream. This is Keshav Maheshwari. So if you have attended Sara's live before, from last couple of live streams, I have taken that. And this stream is specifically to talk about uranium uh, as an asset, what Sara is doing there. We'll be talking about it. So hello everyone. And today I'm going to share about a significant milestone that we have achieved in SARA ecosystem. Less about SARA, more about that ecosystem and development, so that we all understand the things that we are trying to do here. So for those who are joining it for the first time, I'm a co-founder of SARA, a protocol that is building the future of tokenized commodities on chain. Okay. So we are announcing something very interesting today. That is, uranium is coming to SARA. So how we are doing it and everything, for this only this stream is there. If you have any question in between, feel free to drop your questions in our LinkedIn stream, Sarah, from Sara's official page, or our WhatsApp community group, so that I will be able to monitor those two. If you are pasting or your question anywhere else after this session, I may reply there. But for now, I will be watching in those two platforms parallelly. So this is not just another token launch. It's about bringing a real world utility and a critical energy asset on blockchain. So let's dive into it without wasting much time. First of all, let me introduce what are commodities. So because it is very important to understand why in SARA we choose commodities. We have been talking about commodities for past few months, and in fact we are going to release a lot of resources for you to understand commodities. So commodities are real and tangible assets. So unlike all the other assets, commodities are something that affects our day-to-day life on a regular basis. From gold, what we wear, to wheat, what we eat. Everything is commodities, and it actually drives the entire journey of everyone around us. Directly and indirectly, everyone is directly affected to commodities, its price, its movement, its scarcity, and everything associated to commodities. We are affected through it. Um, and unlike regular crypto tokens, this will represent abstract value because commodities actually represent actual goods with real volatility. So this is not just some crypto assets that we are going to talk about. Then what are tokenized commodities and why do we need to tokenize commodities? So number one is accessibility. Traditionally, investing in commodities requires significant, um, attention more than just capital requirement. For example, like we can buy gold and silver and keep it at home in form of jewelry or other assets. But buying copper is tough. Buying uranium is tough because copper, you need to get a decent amount of exposure. You need huge amount of copper to be stored with you, and copper ETFs are not very much easily accessible across all the countries. So like sitting in India, I can't invest directly into copper ETF. For uranium, it becomes more special because structuring the custody of uranium is very tough. Uranium is a radioactive element and metal. You know about it, and everyone don't have that expertise to store uranium in their own command. And also buying it sometimes gets tough. There are a lot of licenses required and regulatory stuffs are there. So that's why tokenization play a key role in this kind of special assets, which have relatively lesser liquidity, but there are some serious need and demand in the world. So tokenization actually helps there. It also adds to liquidity. I won't say that tokenization actually solves for liquidity, but it definitely adds to the liquidity. So it adds certain element of liquidity in those assets, easily tradable. That is the main reason, and it can be traded 24/7. And there are a lot of protocols where these issued assets can take participate and enhance the use case of these assets very easily. That's why it actually increases the liquidity. Uh, the third and most interesting point would be transparency. So on chain, everything is transparent. You go to Explorer, you can check everything, like from where it was moved. Again, it's a concern as well because for a lot of things, KYC is important. Things are there. So SARA ecosystem actually has taken care of all the things, and we'll go deep down into it. But transparency is very critical. We can actually see the movement of everything there. I personally, this is my personal opinion. I personally believe that an asset on chain is actually an asset on chain. Uh, you'll understand the meaning of this statement in a gradual, flow of time, or maybe in different session. But an asset on chain is actually an asset, like just like Bitcoin, it's a pure asset on chain. And tokenization also eases the process of fractional ownership. Although there are other options like in ETF also you can purchase a small fraction, but tokenization also eases it. So it has goodness of all the existing, basically investment vehicles, but some of the things it has which all the other existing investment vehicles don't have it. That's why there's so much buzz around tokenization. So now let me introduce you to uranium because this session is specifically about uranium. I talked about tokenization and commodities a bit, more to it maybe later, but let's understand uranium first. So uranium is a heavy metal which is primarily used for fueling of nuclear power plants. Okay. So we'll get into numbers also here. So 1 kilogram of uranium can produce as much energy as 1,500 tons of coal does. So that's a huge gap here. Okay, so we'll come down to numbers in detail as well. It is one of the most energy dense material available on Earth as of now. So, now let's understand how people actually today invest in uranium because it's a very interesting asset to invest in. So most of the investors today actually go with the ETF route. It's the most common and direct route. One of the most famous is Spot. I personally actually will be showing you Spot as well. Other ways to invest in it is actually investing in equity of the company which are directly indirectly associated to uranium. For example, someone building power plant, someone refining uranium, enriching uranium, and someone maybe providing custodian services for uranium. These kind of companies can also, we can get also exposure to uranium via this kind of company, and ETF and funds for those companies also exist. But to be noted, these funds actually don't give direct exposure to price of uranium. It is an indirect exposure. Okay. uh, so there are many funds around it, and most of them are in western part of the world, not in Asia or Indian, basically, part. We don't have that. So this also actually is a hindrance, like cross-border payment and getting those funds. And there are regulatory and compliance issue. Like in India, if you invest in a US-based ETF or US-based fund, you have to actually file a different return at a different time. So it's a headache. So for a small investment, going through all this hassle is not worth it. This is another issue that people actually are not able to invest in that very easily. So summing it up, we have geographical restriction, trading hours, custodian cost, and limited accessibility for a small investor because of a lot of simple reasons, which we talked about. So now, why uranium and why now? This is the next topic that I wanted to cover. So in the meantime, I'll check for any questions if there are. I don't think there are any questions right now. So I'll move forward. Okay. So uranium provides a very big economic advantage. Like I'll just compare it with coal for now. I don't want to compare it with other assets because coal is the biggest, provider for energy right now. So I'll compare it with coal. So as we already discussed, 1 kg uranium produces the energy equivalent to almost 1,500 ton of coal. So the cost wise, um, 1 kg of coal would cost around 160K dollar. Okay. And 1 kg of uranium is roughly $200, 183 as of now. Okay. So it will roughly $200 and it is 160K dollars. A huge difference in cost. It's so uranium, just considering the material cost, is 881x cheaper. 880x cheaper. Now let's go to the fuel cost because the fuel alone won't produce energy. We need a capex, we need a installation, and a lot of things are required. In there, coal initially seems well enough, but for a longer run, because we see a plant producing energy for at least 10 years, then we'll see that the fuel per cost, therefore coal will come around to $1.45, but uranium will be cheaper. It will be $0.85 only. So again, here uranium is 73%, almost 70% cheaper than coal to produce energy. We're considering all the infrastructure cost. Then reliability, the uptime of uranium based reactor for energy production is very high. It's like more than 85% uptime is there. For coal-based, it is less than 50%. I have taken the average of all the units. Actually, the number will come on to around 40%, but it's less than 50%, to be on a conservative side, we'll say. Again, here uranium has an edge. Now the physical volume, this is the most critical part. So the to produce the same kind of energy, a handful amount of uranium is sufficient. Although transferring it is a costly thing because you need a special kind of vehicle and permissions to transfer it. But still, it's not that volume oriented. But you need almost 30 truckload to create to send coal to the plant so that it produces same of an amount of energy that 1 kg of uranium would produce. So that's a huge difference. Transferring physical things in that much volume has a utmost care and again cost it attached to it. So in all those things, we understand that uranium is a very optimal solution, and it's a cleaner energy, no doubt. So that's why there's so much buzz around uranium. But why now? Actually, energy is a topic to debate for decades and centuries. But why now? Because now energy consumption is increasing because of technological advancement. The number one thing that actually is driving the energy market right now is data centers. And with the rise of AI, data centers need is increasing. It's not just because of the AI. Data center is actually increasing, but AI has actually accelerated the demand of energy, to be in a very simple term, if I would say. So data centers, energy efficiency is needed, and that's why more clear and clean energy is needed, and uranium plays a very important role here. So we have companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google actually investing in nuclear power plant. We have countries like China, India, France, if I'm not wrong, actually expanding on uranium-based energy production units, and these are actually creating demand. So by just creation of demand, we can't know rise in the asset price. So I'll take an example that we all are aware of is silver. Last year, actually, silver gave a return of roughly 150%. So one of the very key narrative of silver was increasing demand and deficit in silver, which is somewhat true as well, I believe. So similar thing is we can see in uranium, and it's very interesting in uranium as well, because they are increasing demand. Uranium production is growing on uranium demand is increasing on a conservative side around 3 to 4%, but production actually is not increasing that much also. And new mines development take place around 10 a decade time, 10 to 15 years. This was not the case for silver. So the uranium deficit is actually more crucial right now if we go deep into it. So uranium deficit is actually something that big players, stakeholders are worried about, to be very honest, because there is no replacement for that kind of energy that uranium gives us. So this is a very high level idea of uranium, why uranium is important, how the price is affected, deficit in uranium supply, because this is what will drive the prices and everything. Disclaimer, this is not an investment advice. Okay, this is just an analytics that I wanted to share with you guys. Now SARA model for tokenization. Okay, so you can get ETF and everything. They are actually backed by physical uranium everything, but we are trying to redefine, not exactly redefine, but restructure the tokenization process. So we are going with a model of collateralized tokenization. Unlike traditional tokenization, where 1:1 backing of physical uranium is needed, SARA will use a volatility adjusted collateral model. What it is a very simple model where we would basically, anyone who wants to issue a uranium token will lock their collateral asset, which could be stable coin on any approved asset from our platform. They can lock into it, and based on the volatility, they have to lock it. So just giving a tentative example, if you want to issue $1,000 worth of uranium, and the volatility in uranium market is right now 23%, then the 23% of that to be issued uranium has to be locked with SARA. Very simple. So what it does is it actually absorbs the volatility, and based on the changing volatility, which our algorithm is actually always checking on, so the collateral can increase. Ideally, it won't decrease, but it could increase. Okay. If there's less volatility, that collateral is fine because we want to be on safe side. So giving a practical example, how it ideally would work, if someone wants to invest $100 in uranium, they will buy $100 worth of this uranium asset issued on SARA protocol, and then if uranium prices rises to $120, they will make a $20 profit out of that amount that has been locked with collateral. So if someone is bearish on uranium, they will issue the tokenized uranium on SARA platform. And if someone is bullish, they would buy. Very simple maths. Just trying to make you understand this. Although there are a lot of things in between, but you get a fair idea. I believe. I'll take a pause and I'll just check for any comments if there are, so that we can check. Okay. I see a few questions. Those are part of my life, so I won't take that right now. But if I'm at the end, I'll again look into the questions then. All right. I want to show you the Sprout Uranium page so that you understand that actually the fund is actually running and how it is happening. And if you have attended my live around 2 months back, I showed the same page and you will see the difference in the value of uranium that they have. I'll just share the screen. Uh, I think you can see this Sprout page here. Okay. So if it's not visible, you can comment. So I'll just go to this part. So in 2 months back, the net asset value was little bit less than $6 billion. So it was around 4.87 or 9 roughly. And today it is 6.42 billion. In 2 months, they have increased the asset value. It doesn't mean that they have only purchased new uranium. Uranium price also increased, but they have also purchased the uranium. People are actually looking to buy uranium. So people buy this is how ETF works. So people buy the ETF and they actually purchase the physical uranium to back it up. So that's what I wanted to show you here. This is so people, they are growing interest. By this we can understand that. That's it. Okay. Give me a minute. I think I have the questions. Okay. Tokenization again. Okay, I'll explain tokenization again at the end of the session. We'll actually cover it in more detail. Okay. So okay, I'll explain right now. So let's suppose you want to short uranium. You're bearish on uranium. You will sell uranium. And if you are bullish on uranium, you will buy uranium. So what we are trying to do here is if you are bearish on uranium, you will lock collateral worth, let's say you want to short $100 worth of uranium. Okay. So you will lock $23 worth of approved asset that we have, mostly stablecoin or any approved asset that we have, and you'll short it. You'll just issue uranium token if you're if you want to short it, and people who are bullish on uranium will buy those token. So if price increases, the person who was bullish will get the difference of the money. So suppose $100 worth of uranium you issued, so and the price is $220. Out of a $23 collateral, he will get the $20 at the expiry. Basically, suppose you issue a uranium short for 3 months or 6 months, at the expiry of that, he'll get the difference. And if uranium price fall, you make money because on that $100 asset. This is how traditional capital also work, traditional market also work. So there's nothing new that we're trying to do here. It's just we're doing on chain with more transparency. This is in fact the same way most of the people invest in futures, and a lot of different investment works in similar same fashion. There's nothing new in this financial concept. It's just how we are using it and delivering it. I'll just summarize the key benefit of this tokenization process. So we don't need to store physical uranium. It is capital efficient, liquidity is there, and ideally in future when the protocol grows, you will be able to use this issued asset, let's say uranium, the issued asset, across all the lending and liquidity pool and collateral services. There are various different protocols where you can participate gradually when the system matures. So it will give you an edge. And if you are into decentralized finance, you will understand this, but I don't want to make it complicated to talk about decentralized finance right now. But a lot of financial instruments created on blockchain increases its worth and value by participating in different decentralized finance protocols, and our asset will also be compliant in that. This is what I wanted to say. And accessibility is easier compared to other asset. Obviously you will need to have been verified by the ecosystem to participate, because at the end there's some assets and real value that we are transferring, but it is relatively simpler and easier and faster. This is just not a tokenization platform. Actually, it's an entire financial instrument vehicle, kind of marketplace for commodities on chain. So what's next and what's the vision? So the smart contracts are ready. So we have also basically reliable oracles and APIs. We have partnered with them for price feeds of different commodities. For uranium, the actual price movement happens in month time. Like a lot of valid sources actually update the price every month, because uranium is not something, the real value and volume happens in a big deal, and we can't track that real time. So we consider everything, and then the price comes to us. In the ETF market, the price fluctuation on a regular basis is pure because of demand and supply, but that's a very tiny amount of volume. We don't want to go with that pricing. So we'll be taking price from reliable sources, which actually makes sense that for assets like uranium, updating of price happens on a monthly basis. It makes sense because huge volumes, huge contracts, country level deal happens. That's why. Okay. And for initial, if anyone wants to issue uranium, tokenized uranium on our protocol, or if anyone wants to buy, we don't have any form right now, because I personally want to talk to everyone about it. So you can reach out to me or anyone from SARA team. You can mail to us in our website. The email IDs are there. You can reach out to me via LinkedIn or WhatsApp group also, and we'll discuss about it, how it will happen, and from ideation to implementation, there will be one-on-one support for that. Long-term vision, uh, we want to support more and more assets. So to be very clear, although gold and silver is something very interesting, but you can easily buy and sell gold. So that won't be our top priority. So we will have certain exotic assets definitely added to our ecosystem. I'm not saying that we want to gold and silver, but it's actually easily available. So it doesn't make immediate sense to solve for it. Obviously, adding gold and silver to DeFi protocol makes a lot of sense to me, but not immediately. So what we are building is a on-chain commodity ecosystem where people can trade commodities, create synthetic position, then have real-time analytics about their positions and also pricing, and participate in this growing DeFi ecosystem. So summing it up, uh, before summing it up, I'll just see for other questions. I don't see any new questions here. Okay. So I'll sum it up now. So what is in it for you guys? So if you are excited or interested to know more about this ecosystem, actually is very exciting for me. And if you want to, just issue something, buy or sell thing, and which I think is very interesting idea, you can reach out to us. So for investor, you can follow us and get in touch with us to issue or buy a token, uranium, and we'll add you to the whitelist. And the moment buying and selling is available for you, we'll intimate you. Okay. And for builders and partners, actually, we are looking for different person who wants to talk to us and who can add to the ecosystem. Maybe some Oracle provider, maybe some DeFi protocol who wants to integrate it with their protocol. We are open to it. Feel free to reach out to us via email for this for collaboration. Please reach out to us via email. The email ID is team@SARA. Find it in our website as well. And who is actually interested to know how this entire system works, feel free to visit our website. We publish our white paper where you will get a clearer idea. You can follow us on across social media where we are going to post about not only about uranium but about commodities as well, how to think about commodities, think for commodities. And you can attend our upcoming AMAs and workshop. Ideally, Thursday 3 p.m. from this week we have fixed. So every Thursday 3 p.m. we'll have a live. Sometime it may change, but ideally it would be Thursday 3 p.m. So add to your calendar if you want to regularly interact. One thing I wanted to mention here is this is a community ecosystem. Okay, so more and more participation will make it more robust. So feel free to reach out to us, be active on our WhatsApp group, and let's talk. Any queries, any questions, any doubt, and we'll talk about it. And together we all can grow. And before ending, SARA token actually was minted and it was listed also on QuickSwap. We have added certain security to it. Like right now, only verified users can trade SARA, although it's listed in QuickSwap. But if your address is not verified with us, you can't actually buy or sell SARA in that. So if you want to participate in in trying our SARA token as well, the new ecosystem where we have, verified address can only transact in SARA, you can reach out to me and we'll whitelist you after basic understanding and KYC. And the listing part of the main listing, which is supposed to happen, like we can actually trade SARA with 400 plus cryptos. That is also going on. So announcement on that most probably by next week, next Thursday. The live will be around SARA and one more commodity. I hope everything is clear. I'll just refresh for any questions. From my end, it's done. And yeah, I believe we can end the session. Thank you for giving your valuable time. I know it's afternoon and yeah. And even after this session, if you watch the recording, also feel free to drop a comment and reach out to me, and we'll be happy to take this forward. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.